y'all for tuning in to Black Women Heal Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, family, for being here with us today. Ladies, y'all know what to do. Say hello to the family.
Going
What's
on?
up?
Yes, yes, yes. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Hope you're ready for today's episode. I guess you are because you downloaded and you subscribed and you're following us too. Thank you. We appreciate you.
You did, baby.
Yes, 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 yes. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow and or subscribe on your favorite audio platform. Make sure that you know what the website is, blackwomenhealshow.com. blackwomenhealpod@gmail.com if you need to send us a message, okay? If you like to send us a comment, some feedback, a letter, whatever you want to do. We're here for you. We thank you. We appreciate you for tuning in and for rocking with the girls every week. We appreciate you. Talking about,
Being in love with the lesson and not the blessing.
yes, we talking about being in love with the wrong motherfucker. Y'all know how that is, daggone it. I've been through that. Sure many of you have. It's a bitch. Listen. And the whole thing is so crazy is that it's like when you're in the midst of it, it's like you thinking, can't nobody tell you this ain't the one. That's the crazy thing. It looks
Mm-hmm.
so much like the real thing.
Michael
Ain't
Jackson, this
nothing
is
like
it.
the
Yeah, this is
real
it.
thing. Look,
No.
so
I know.
yeah, that's
Damn
crazy.
it.
Yeah. So Zelita, you said that you specifically have a story for us regarding realizing when he's the lesson and not the blessing. Like, what does that feel
Ooh,
like
yeah.
when you realize it?
It's, you feel like a whole asshole, actually. I'm going to just be Frank and you could be Steve and, they could be Bob and Patricia. But you feel like an asshole because, you put so much work and you invested so much time, energy, effort, even when those that love you the most, looking outside of your situation, can clearly see what's going on. Of course, when you're in the midst of it, you ain't seeing shit. You just know like this person makes you happy, so you're going to ignore the red flags, ignore your intuition because you're happy. It's something that's new, and then when your
Mm-hmm.
family and your friends that know you and understand like your history and stuff, sometimes they'll say something. Mine's will. They ain't gonna hold back. They don't give a damn. And you feel like an asshole. You feel like, how did I miss it? But then you understand why you did miss it, because it's like somebody can tell you 1,000 times that water is boiling hot, like that lava that you used to play, like used to fake, like, oh, the floor is lava when you're a kid and shit, and have that whole imaginative side, like it's hot, it's this, it's that, and it's like, damn, I know it is, and all this kind of stuff. But why didn't I get up or pick up that temperature of that feeling when I was in the midst of the bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
So you get really hard on yourself, and I'm guilty of that. Nobody's harder on me than me. I'm more self-critical than anything, because it's like when you know better, you do better. And you was like, nah, I'm not gonna fall for that trap. You know all the stories we tell ourselves, and I'm guilty of that too. I'll admit that. But it's like, for a minute you feel like an asshole. You feel like you let yourself down. You think about your friends that have been through similar situations, and you don't ever want to see yourself in that light, and it's hard. But the beauty in seeing that is being able to give yourself grace. Be like, yeah, I feel like an asshole. It's a temporary situation, feeling like that. But one thing you should never do is try to hide the fact that a mistake was made, to do better, to pay more attention, try to see the red flags. Don't let all the glitter, the glamour, and all this of that new feeling of that relationship blind you so much that you miss the signs that keep you from getting hurt. I've missed them 1,000 times. None of us or anybody is an expert when it comes to relationship. We're still students, still learning. So it took a while. It took a while, and I had to take a step back from everything. I had to look at what I believed and what I know and what I feel. And if all those three don't line up accordingly, that signals for me I need to do some healing. And I need to do it in a different way because there's not a right or wrong way to do healing long as you do it. Don't bullshit yourself. It's not easy. It's not a cakewalk. It's something that has to be done to get something that you, as it says, to get something that you've always wanted. You have to do something that you've never thought about doing, and that's stepping into the unknown completely, and just having that faith that, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this shit 110%. I'm not going to half-ass it. And me being a bull, it's either all or nothing. I'm either going to like it or nothing. So it's always about making that conscious decision that to learn from this lesson, what you didn't do in a previous relationship, make better decisions, make better conscious decisions, I should say, and go to the people that know you. That's not going to bullshit you. That's going to be your friend 1,000 times and be like, not them yes people. Get the if you got people that's in your circle that's like yes girl, and no, get rid of their asses real quick because they ain't your friend.
So
So,
what was that like with your parent, with your family, when they saw it and you didn't?
ah,
Especially like your folks, because they usually the first people to say something, and siblings come next or whatever. Maybe your
yeah.
auntie, your uncle, or something like that.
Well, my mom, she since the other person was a Leo and she's a Leo, my mom was like, "Girl, you need to get rid of that damn cub." I fell out because I knew exactly what the hell she meant. And she just kept it straight like they did in there was a jealousy that I didn't see before, that when I had went back and revisited, there was a lot. There was a lot of different ways that I was hindered, which was some bullshit, but I had to learn from that. So I know what to look for. So her letting me know during during, in the middle, and after the fact helped me have a clearer picture of what to look for, what to not to dismiss, and how to establish my boundaries for myself, which is something that I've never really had to do in a relationship, because you don't think that, oh, I'm in a relationship that you gotta have boundaries. It almost sounds like a contradiction, like an oxymoron. How you gonna be in a relationship and boundaries? No, it makes perfect sense. But as people say, make it make sense. Now, for my father, mm, let us pray. My dad didn't hold back. He was still a gentleman. He was still respectful, even when things got a little crazy towards the end. But the look on my father's face was enough to freeze
Mm.
anybody. And he came back. He's like, I ain't like that motherfucker either.
Mm-hmm.
he kept
Mm-hmm.
it. He kept it
True
100.
dad fashion.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as him being the cancer and stuff like that, and paying attention. He's a man of few words, but it's like when he does talk, it's like listen, because you're gonna learn something, and I'm still learning from that man.
Of course.
So he gave me some helpful tips, and I think one of the biggest ones, well, two of the biggest ones that I use from him, when you make your mistakes, accept the fact that you fucked up, you made a mistake, own up to it. It clears your conscience, it clears your spirit and your heart. And then that way you'll be able to even love yourself for the simple fact that you identified that. That's a trigger. You identified it, you didn't hush it away, you didn't block it, and you learned a different part of yourself, and you gave yourself grace. Not only did you give the other person grace by saying, get the fuck out of here, but you give yourself grace. And that starts your healing process. And then you can't bullshit yourself because you check yourself. So as I always say, don't think I'm not scared to check you, because I check myself on the regular. Real recognizes real. So my parents being the way that they are, and then my siblings, they like, well, my brother, God rest his soul, was on like 1,000. He always told me how he felt. And what he would do, everybody knows how brothers are. That's why mine was called the Yellow Gorilla, because he was about that life, especially with
Mm-hmm.
his sisters. But gave great advice. My sister
Mm-hmm.
basically put it out there to the person and said, that don't think you know my sister. Number one, just because she a little bit more thicker than most, don't think she doesn't have other people wanting to talk to her. She loves you.
Mm-hmm.
She ignores them. She loves you. The moment that you show any type of betrayal, distrust, any of that, she said she's not going to cheat on you, but you're not going to get the same person because she knows.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know when your siblings or your friends that love you that much will go to the person that that you were with and say something until after the fact because they saw something. It's like, I don't want this to keep going down this road. That's how you know those in your circle really, really love you because they will go to bat for you.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
after finding out all that, I got not half the picture, but the entire picture itself, and it allowed me to heal. And as we've all have said, that there's no time limit on your healing process. Just go do it. You'll know when you'll heal. You'll feel it. But knowing asshole, that's the only word I could describe is that when you realize like, damn, I feel like an asshole.
Mm-hmm. Feel like you
Okay,
got.
well, damn.
Feel like you got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't see
They
this
sprayed the
before.
player. Let me stop.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's how I felt. Like this is some bullshit. I was supposed to
Shit.
see this. This is crazy. Yeah. They definitely
What the
There's
fuck?
definitely a moment of grief. I feel like because you didn't catch it sooner, and then I feel like because if you wait too long, or if it's a length of time before it's realized, and it's maybe 6+ months, then it's like I didn't gave up 6 months or a year, or for some people it's a couple of years, and that's the other issue is that it's hard to walk away when you've invested yourself and your time and your youth and stuff into someone just to find out they wouldn't win.
Mm, for that
Mm-mm.
damn moment.
Mm-mm.
I want to. I want. Can I make a return to
Right,
sender?
return to sender, return back to his mammy.
God, who is this? This is not what I ordered. This came from Wish. It gotta go back.
Right.
I don't. I,
Uh,
I don't want it.
so simple. It's
Don't
yeah,
make me that
yeah.
song.
I think the red flags definitely. When we were talking about that in that episode, definitely or what we're supposed to be looking for to
Mm-hmm.
avoid it. But then again, there's some people out there who are masters at manipulation, and they find out what you like. They find out how you like it, when you like it, and they they
It's a
they
special place in hell for people like that. I'm just saying.
they be wolves in sheep's clothing. I think that's how a lot of it happens too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun until it ain't fun.
Right. Yeah.
Shit is real fun at
Yeah.
the beginning. Shit is real. It's a blast. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit is a blast. You hear me? I had me one of them. That shit is a fucking blast.
Be on
Until you
fucking
realize
fire
it
the
ain't
whole
the
time.
one.
I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. I was a little digmatized. You know what I'm saying? It's a mess. Just a mess. It was like so much shit, you guys. Like it's just the best. Like I remember when this one
Say
time,
Pookie.
because he was living with at the time his sister and cousin, and he had the basement, and the ladies had the top floor, whatever. I get over there, and his sister was my really good friend at the time, and we came from a party in the city, came back to her house. We gonna continue the party, and had my little overnight bag and stuff like that. I hadn't really talked to him that day. He was working, whatever, running around, and we get there, and these two bitches in the basement with him and his friends playing cards.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, who the fuck is that bitch? Remember that in Friday? She was like, who the fuck is that bitch? fuck you tell that bitch? That bitch nobody, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was that. And I was like, the fuck is going on? And at the time, at the time, we were exclusive, but not exclusive. Like we hadn't really vocalized it yet, but we had been rocking for a minute. And his dumbass really wasn't thinking because I was friends with your sister before we started fucking with each other. So there's always a possibility I'm going to be here. And like I said, we had been rocking with each other for a minute, for a couple months already. And so to ensure the safety of yourself, you should have hit me up and asked me if I was coming over that motherfucker first.
No, like, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why dudes always get caught because they don't be thinking about the details. He knew we was at this party. He knew it could be a chance we come back. That I come back with his sister to have a little after party. He knew this. And I didn't go off or nothing like that. I had my alcohol or whatever. And I hadn't even brought him out overnight bag and nothing like that. But you should have seen the look on his face, yo. He was like, it was like a ghost. It was like a ghost stepped in the room. He was already scared. And this is not no small dude, though. This is not 5'5.5" Omar Farouk Sr. This is 6'9" motherfucker. Okay? Big dude. And his ass was scared as bitch. My face come down them steps because the way it came, because the way the basement was set up. You come down the steps, and then there's a living room area, right? And then there's like a washer and dryer or whatever. And then you go to around the back. That's where his bed and dresser and all that stuff was, right? So I go around the back. He had the card table set up over there. I came around that motherfucking corner. He was scared as a bitch, you guys. Scared as a motherfucker. He was like,
slow motion.
Hey, y'all. And him and all his friends don't give a fuck.
So what happened? Look, what happened?
The bitch left. She got the fuck up out of there.
So she was a weird kind of friend, because if she was just really a friend, she would have just introduced herself. Like, even though it might not have been appropriate for her to be there, but she still, you know what I mean? She just didn't know like, who I was.
See, here's the thing. She didn't know who I was. She had never seen me before. She's a couple years younger than me. So it wasn't like we would have seen each other in passing in school or any kind of the same social environments. You know what I mean? Because he was a couple years younger than me too as well. So and went to a entirely different school than we did. So because they're from our hometown, but I didn't meet him until after we, a couple years later after we graduated. So anyway, so he was like, oh shit. Everybody clowning and joking around and stuff like that. I was like, hey, y'all, what's up? What y'all doing? Play cards? Yeah. Okay. And one of them was a snow bunny. The other one was this like light-skinned black chick, real cute, right? The light-skinned black chick was supposed to be the one there for him or whatever, right? And so he come, me and his sister, my friend, we go upstairs. We like, let's get this drink. I was like, because honestly, I don't have to be here and I don't have to stay here. I can do my drinking and I can go. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I got a home, please believe. So I was like, okay, this a bitch. She, so my friend, she was like, girl, she was like, I didn't even know they was all down here. All these motherfuckers ain't supposed to even be here right now. What are they doing here? So, so we start drinking or whatever. He come upstairs, and next thing I know, the ladies is leaving because he came upstairs to see we was doing to test the temperature of the water and stuff. I was like, we good. We just came from the party, whatever, yada yada yada. And I was like, we about to drink a little something, whatever, yada yada yada. He got the bitch up out of there, as he should have. You feel what I'm saying? That's just an example of a red flag. That was me. That's at that moment right then and there. I should have pumped my brakes. Okay, that was my fault. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie though, I was a little digmatized, you guys. I was.
I don't know why, but the song Chopped and Screwed just came through and started playing. Chopped and Screwed. That's exactly
listen. But I've never been the type to like that's gonna go off. You know what I mean? I make you scared because I don't say shit. I'm that type. She ain't saying shit. Oh no, this shit ain't right. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, this she gonna fucking kill my ass.
I could be like that. Okay, I wish
I'm like that too.
I just can't. It's like everything, and it's not just like relationship shit.
Your fire that you
everything.
Feel, I feel it. But I let that shit rock because
I can't. It's like I just want to tear my hair out. I can't. Look, I'm over here grabbing my shit now. Like I can't take it. I don't know how y'all hold shit in. Like I can't do it. Like I can't breathe. It's like a panic attack by that. Yes. Like I cannot. I get overwhelmed and I'm like, nope, I gotta deal with this shit right now, not later. So yeah, I'm just pop off.
Ashley, we're saying blue or like Dragon Ball Z.
And I told him, I was like, yo, if you want to continue to fuck with me, you gonna have to get that bitch out of here. Period. Okay. So you decide what you want to do. Who would you rather spend your time with? I said, and that's the bottom line. And I was like, so you make a decision, and whatever decisions you make is cool. But it ain't gonna be the last time you see my face because your sister is my girl. That's my girl. That's my homie. You know, whatever like that. And he made his choice. So the bitches was gone. Then a couple more minutes. You got to get the fuck out of here because they ain't finna drink up my alcohol. That's you going too far. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You're not about to break bread with one another. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. But did he know you was coming over?
So that's what I'm saying. I hadn't talked to him. I hadn't talked to him all day, but he had talked to his sister, and he knew we were out. Like he knew we was out chilling and stuff like that. I guess he thought maybe we wasn't gonna come back. I wasn't gonna come back with her if we came back late. But that's why I'm saying his ass was, he smoked weed and shit like that. He wasn't thinking. He wasn't thinking about the details of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else would have been like, you come. So he like, you know, any motherfucker would have been like, you come back with this or not. You know what I mean? But he was always that kind of person that always got caught. Every time he did something wrong, he got caught. He was like a get caught ass motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying?
And don't rob a bank with him.
Okay.
Listen, okay? But that was my fault because I should have pumped my brakes. You feel me? I should have pumped my brakes and be like, okay, this can't be no more than what this is at the moment. And I should have never really got serious with him. And because the same way that shit started is the same way that shit gonna end. You know what I'm saying? That's how I called him cheating when we was together. Same situation. I came over, bitch was there. He didn't know I was coming.
I don't think I know. I'm sorry.
So yeah,
I don't think I
man,
never caught nobody cheating in the flesh. Like in action.
Well, they weren't doing nothing. She was going to. That's the episode I was telling you guys about when she was going to take him to work or whatever. And I had came to get something before I knew he was going to leave or whatever. And she was there because she was going to drop him off at work. Yeah, it's another effort because it'd be fun. It'd be fun till it ain't fun no more. This shit get real.
When the rabbit got the gun.
Okay. Okay.
Don't pay my
Listen.
That's the truth.
I just hate that. I just hate that women, especially like hetero women, like I don't want to use the word settle, but it's like we just keep feeding on to the BS. You know what I mean? Because when we become emotionally attached to people, that shit be like gorilla glue. Okay?
Facts.
Them soul ties ain't no joke.
Definitely like gorilla glue.
Don't let them have a little stroke with it. You feel me? Listen. That like, stroke be enough to keep you around until
shit. You acting crazy. He ain't got no stroke. Something wrong.
Yeah.
Something ain't right.
He must be real good to her or something. I don't know.
Okay. He must
in
be
other ways.
Really good.
In other ways.
Different type of milk. He needs some milk. Nah, he don't. He needs something else.
Listen. OMG. But I think time has a lot to do with it too, because like ain't nobody finna push me out my house. There's no way. I didn't put 12 years into this relationship with Omar Senior. There's no way. We gotta do something.
Okay.
Like
I'm just, girl, please. I don't even think about that.
I don't think about it either, but you know, like just sitting here in the conversation, like, you know, I'm pretty sure women have the issue with their husbands, like they marry the lesson. You know what I mean? And they go through all this strife when they married, and they like, God damn, but I didn't put all this time in. I didn't gave up my youth. You know what I mean? 45 years old now, 40 years old now. And you just
they struggle between you know, wanting what they want and wanting to do the right thing for themselves. Because if they haven't, you know, and I don't know what it's like to be married, but it's like once you invested so much, it's like the years you put in, and that kind of stuff happens. Like you can't get
all
that
the
shit
time
back.
It happens so much. You see,
I
like
would
the men.
devastated. Like really.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Yeah,
It's devastating. That's because that's just like them women who get their husbands, you know, they'll go get them a younger version of them and stuff, and abandon the family and walk away from it and go get a whole new family with somebody 25 years old or something like that. Like that's crazy. Like,
throw it away.
but to me, that says more about him
than
I mean, I know that
Mm-hmm.
has got to hurt, but that just says more about him. It's like you that immature. Like the level up for me was to be get a boss that's bossing better than me, and then I'm gonna be looking like okay.
Right.
But yeah, that's for me. If you go like again, I'm sure that hurts. So I'm not speaking from a person that's experienced that. But if Mike was to do that, I'd be like, bye. Like a little 25-year-old, she ain't got shit on me. There's nothing, no disrespect to any 25-year-old, but there's nothing in that. I'm like, okay, you must be having one of those, what's it called?
Midlife crises.
Exactly, one of them.
Male version of menopause.
Baby, I don't have time. I'm like, oh, you want to play? Because I'll go get me a little young thing is thinking too now. We can competition this thing out. No, I'm just kidding. Now, when I was younger, I probably would have been more like that. But now, I don't have time. Just go ahead. It's too much out here. I'm not trying to get the shit that was already here and then whatever's going on now with, you know, with the sea. So,
yeah, it just takes so much to be in a relationship. It takes so much effort. You know what I mean?
Businesses. Yes, if he ever do
that's
crazy,
how I feel.
That
actually.
will be my relationship. My kids, obviously, but intimate. We'll be
I could fall back for a good minute.
Yeah. I'll be like, ooh, how them profit statements looking?
Exactly. Hello. Get some of it. Listen, and that's what a lot of women do too. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You read
I'm
stories
not
like that all the time. And like,
backwards.
Right. And that's what's so funny. Like when Celia was talking, she was saying how her family saw it and all that and everything. And it's like when you have a friend going through something like that, you know, and you can see the toxicity and you can't really say too much. You just gotta let the shit rock and just be there to support your friend or whatever. I've seen that too. And it's hard as a friend or sister or something to watch somebody else go through that and just try to support them. You know, and we're not talking about nothing extreme like physical abuse or anything like that. That's entirely different because we gonna fucking pull up. Somebody do some shit like that. That's different. Right.
And bring the bandwagon. Everybody get in the car. It's just about to get there. We about to turn this up.
Right.
Keisha, you know we out here. Open the damn door.
Cheyenne, you ever experienced the lesson relationship that you thought was the best? Of course.
The thing about me, I'm the type of person, when I'm in the thick of it, I don't want to hear what nobody have to say because at the end of the day, you know, it's like we talk about it all the time. It's like a infant. You tell them not to touch the stove, you know, through life experience, you have never experienced it. So you want to touch the stove because until you get a dose of what that is, you're not going to leave it alone. So, you know, I've been through my lessons and in the thick of it, I just had to go through the experience. You know, people like family around you could see toxicity in it. However, like my mother, she walked on eggshells around my relationships. You know what I mean? She'll give me little doses, but she know the type of person I am. So at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I want to do and figure it out myself. Yeah, it hurts, but you know, the lesson is always going to push you to the blessing because if you don't experience the lessons, you don't know what the blessing feels like. So You know, I appreciate it all, because the lessons, if I had to do it again, I'll still do it all over, because, you know, the lessons is what taught me what it is that I wanted. You know, it taught me to set boundaries with people. It taught me a lot of stuff. So I can't say, you know, that I wouldn't do it again. Like, lessons is what pushes you to the blessings. And ultimately, it's all good because you learn from it and you better yourself in the end. So that's my thing. Now, toxicity in friends and their relationships, listen, it's to the point now, I'm that type of friend, like, okay, we understand this is the situation that's been occurring repeatedly, right? So now I'm at the point where we talk about it all the time. We're in the business of solving problems. So if you're not coming to me looking for a solution to the problem, because I'm going to present you with solutions. If you're not looking for a solution, stop draining my energy. I don't want to keep talking about this when you know you're going to continue to remain. And I know that might seem harsh, but that's what you call energy vultures. Because when people keep coming to you with the same draining situations and being the empath that you are, you start taking on their problems. It's like, okay, enough is enough. I don't want to hear about this anymore, because you already know what you're into. You know what is going on. It's not getting any better. So it's either you're going to stay and deal with it, or you're going to, you know, explore other solutions. And if you're not in the business of exploring other solutions, I don't want to hear it. Okay.
I feel the same way, girl.
Okay, right. Now we can pass around the collection plate.
Okay.
And Monique is gonna give us a solo.
Listen.
No, Cheyenne
I feel
hit
that.
every nail on the head. Bing, 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 boom.
I had this conversation with somebody that's close to me, and you know, like, they try to give you every excuse as to why you should listen, and you know, in the name of being a good friend. No, being a good friend is to provide solutions. And clearly, if you don't want to hear the solutions that I'm providing, you don't want to do anything about the problem. So I don't want to hear it anymore. I've heard it repeatedly. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to give it my attention anymore.
Facts.
So that's your situation. Don't tell me about it.
And you're choosing to stay in that, then do what you got to do. You know what I mean? I definitely agree. And one thing I can say about Cheyenne, like, I talk on the phone. I have to actually put this disclaimer because I know what it's like to talk on the phone with Cheyenne. I talk to Cheyenne anywhere from a lot. Okay, a lot. Like, I can't even say, like, shift. Yes, but like, it's great advice. But like I said, I don't really bring I didn't bring a couple bullshits to her because sometimes shit just be going on in the middle of the conversation. A 12-hour conversation, shit come out. But in general, yeah, she's definitely some real shit. She doesn't talk about. She gives a lot. Gives very good advice, and like I said, I don't hound her with my bullshit. I do share some of it, but I don't hound her with that. But yeah.
But the crazy thing about it is, like, the people that never want to take your advice is the ones that always want to give you insight into your own life. And it's like, you caught up in your own bullshit. How you always want to put your input onto my situation? Get your situation straight before you always want to. And this is why it's so important not to listen to other people, especially in areas of your relationships. You just have to figure it out yourself, because people don't have the eyes to see into their own situation, but they always have the eyes to see into yours. They could tell you everything wrong in your situation, but they can't seem to get a handle on theirs. People like that, you got to stay away from, because it's like, they don't want to improve their situation, but they always want to point out yours to you.
Exactly. I don't have time. And that's actually a Bible scripture that goes right along with that. And it says, don't worry about the log in my eye, speck in my eye, when you got a log in yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you worried about my speck, but it's a whole log in your eye. So that
the audacity
goes back to what they've been trying to teach since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, mind your business.
Your own.
That literally means mind your business.
Get it together.
Mind your business.
Yourself.
That's all.
Yeah, You just have to allow people the space to figure out their lives. You know, you could tell them all you want to. At the end of the day, we learn through experiences. So it's nothing my mother or anybody else around me could tell me. Oh, everybody that have kids tell you, oh, having kids is overrated. You know what I mean? Like, but until you actually go through the experience of it for yourself, it's nothing you could tell me. I need to have that experience for myself. So it's cool if you want to share a little something, but at the end of the day, we're humans. We're gonna want to experience life on our own terms. So yeah, you know, because human love is very conditional, and unless, you know, that's why a lot of people are so attached to pets, you know, and you know, because pets give you unconditional love. You could tell their ass sit in the corner, but trust and believe, as soon as you walk through the door, they're jumping on your leg. That's just how it is. Like, pets don't know better. Kids, babies, they don't know anybody. That's unconditional love. But human love is very conditional.
It is. Once you learn it, and it really, really is. Like, people really are. I heard something yesterday, and I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but it was like a song or something where the dude was like really going hard about, like, I don't rock with you because money can change your mind. Like, you rock, you know what I mean? Like, it's really good. I think I saved it. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like in that little vibe I was in when I sent you that song yesterday. A whole bunch more came. I said they're gonna be like, girl, don't keep sending all these daggone songs. Look,
I appreciate it.
You
somebody else did the search. I ain't have to go digging shit.
Yeah, I got a few more that I'm gonna make sure I send to y'all. I just didn't want to bombard y'all with, you know what I mean? Like, I love to share my good energy.
We love our spiritual.
Some people be like, okay.
Right. Not saying the lessons don't hurt, because trust me, that shit hurts. Yeah, it hurts. Like, and if you've been in the lesson for a minute, listen, it take a while to get through the surface of all that pain, but when you do get through it, yes, when you get through it, you're like, oh my God, I never thought I would even see the other side of this. Like, if you would have told me back then that you would be happy and moving on with your life, I would have said, hell no, how? You know what I mean? Like,
still in my sulking mood. But yeah, then you look at the motherfucker and be like, God damn, it really wasn't even all that.
What the hell was I thinking?
Yeah. Right. And then what happens is that you grow and then they no longer will be your type either. As you mature. That's the thing that be so crazy.
Grow
you
look back,
you grow out of that, and they still doing the same ish that they was doing.
Same shit to somebody else.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that's an old frequency. I can't vibe on no more. I'm way above.
But that's what dangerous
right now.
But that's also what's dangerous about social media, because you can get caught back up in some stuff. If you're in a vulnerable position and you see them on social media, whatever, y'all friends, y'all normally keep it casual, everything is usually good, but all it takes is one vulnerable moment when you feeling a little down, a little bit, like you need to be, rubbed on or something, and you can find yourself back with that old thing. That's the only thing that's bad about social media, of course, unless you're married, but even some married people getting caught up on that bullshit too. So, I don't know. You guys got to get it together. Just cut the fucking soul tie and be. Yeah. And don't friend them and don't let them friend you if you're not ready. Honestly, to be quite honest, hit that good old block button, baby.
People be wanting followers and shit so bad.
Girl, it's I
got one. I got a quote coming out tomorrow. That's something like, it say social media notifications are great, but payments are much better, or something like that. I'm gonna post it tomorrow. Like, get the fuck out of here with all that. No, I like that thing to say, ding, you have money in your account. Ding, another sale. Ding, another sale. Yeah, ding, another sale. Oh, thank you. Yeah,
right.
That's the one. What's that little money, that cha-ching sound? They come on your phone if you want like offer up or something like that. Yeah, so something on eBay.
Favorite sound.
eBay and all that. Cha-ching. That's what going on.
Yes. Okay, why did the y'all know I'm super goofy today, but we talking about money and stuff. Why was I thinking about that scene in Players Club where Dollar Bill and the other dude was like, money.
Oh yeah.
money.
That's Ashley.
When
I didn't put that on my. Thank you. Let me go
It's like,
tap on the reels, girl.
If there's money upstairs,
Right.
So look out for this. Get away from the blessing.
I'm gonna find
get away
that for
from
real.
the lessons, guys. Get away from them lessons. So you can get you a damn blessing, okay?
Right.
And that's it, ladies. Tell a family where they can find us. They already know, but we got to remind them some tabs.
Everywhere.
You better hit that bell and subscribe if you can see my face. Y'all know what time it is.
Black Women Heal Show on all the platforms. You got Black Women Heal Pod at gmail.com if you need to send us a letter, some sponsorship, whatever you want to do. Send us some sample of your products or your
Send
t-shirts.
us them letters.
Just email us. BlackWomenHealPod at gmail.com.
They coming.
BlackWomenHealShow.com. Okay, we here for you, baby. We love you. We love you. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys, let's do a thumbnail picture real quick. I'm going to use it. We're just going to hold a pose for 3 seconds.
I'm going to do the jail pose. No, I'm not.
Don't see that. All right, so we're talking about the lesson and not the blessing. So
the pose already? Did you take it?
No, we just need this. We need to 1, 2, 3, do the pose and hold it so I can get a screenshot for the
right.
Okay.
Which pose we doing? Wait. What pose we doing?
I don't know. Do whatever you want to do.
Oh no.
What did we? Oh yeah.
Well, we're talking about the lesson, not the blessing. So
right. I can't think of like a pose for that. Right.
Do something like this, like girl, you know, something like that, or you can just cheese, or we can do a smiling pose. We can all just smile. Black girl smiling.
Right.
All right.
Okay, black girl smiling.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. All right, that should be good. That's gonna be silly as a bitch. They can be like, I thought they was talking about something deep. They being silly.
Ain't nothing wrong with being silly. Shit.
Listen, that's how I get fucking down, yo. That one.